Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to finish up this operating session, first session of the Oak Hill Industrial Railroad, by picking up the train, running to Chillicothe, interchanging with the B&O, and running back to Oak Hill. It is a slightly longer video, but hopefully you'll find it worth it. So we ended up, the last time, we had just finished switching Cedar Heights. So now we need to run around the train. But we're going to leave the caboose here. Speaking of trains, we've got a southbound Norfolk Southern train going by. Should hear him blow here in a minute, I hope. Should be the last video you see with the headlight acting weird. So it's fixed now. So now we're pushing the train back to pick up the caboose. I've spent some time the past couple of days trimming up all the plants on the garden railroad. Now the days are getting a little bit cooler, so I intend to run it some this week. Oh wow, we've got another train. So it's double track through Georgetown, so you can get meets sometimes. Right, so we've got the train put together, and we're heading out of town to Chillicothe. crossing Grassy Fork. I don't know if you can hear the Norfolk Southern train. Not real loud. I think he was stopped. It sounds like he's moving pretty slow northbound. Alright, so we're going to drop the train right here. The cars that we're going to pick up are on the siding just beyond Union Spring. So we're going to have to run the locomotive up past the crossover, then back onto the passing siding to get the cars. So you can see the chassis NW2 that delivered the cars is waiting in the distance there underneath the bridge. And they'll take away the cars that the Ojai Railroad dropped off after they're out of town. Tux is out here with me, but he's not as vocal as Ferdinand. But all you're going to hear of him is the bell. But actually, it's starting to get dark, and I'm going to put him inside because I just nabbed him. He's hard to catch sometimes. So we're going to pull the train, new train, up, get back on the main line, and then we'll back up and pick up the caboose. Excuse me. I found that the coupler on that Pennsylvania covered hopper there was broken when I went to attach it to the caboose. It was a microtrans coupler and half of it was missing somehow. So that's why you had the little jump in the video there. Luckily it was the straight edge, not the knuckle. So I was able to get a couple to finish the video, but it's been fixed. Don't know how that happened. So now we're going to see the NW2 come into the scene, and he's going to take the cars that Ojai dropped off and pull them back to the yard. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, when I run the chassis to Oak Hill, I'm saying that the Ohio Division main line was still intact, and it was a 50-mile-an-hour main line on that part. Because actually Amtrak ran on it through to about 1981. They had a passenger train that went to Chillicothe for a few years. I think it was called the Shenandoah or something. So it stopped in Chillicothe, and the speed limit was pretty high. But when I pretend that it's the Ojai Railroad, I'm sort of saying that it's like it is now. It's the Ohio South Central that runs it now. And so they're on the main line, but it's down to a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. It's not high-speed line anymore, not maintained to those standards. So that's why I left the car scrap next to the engine. But I don't usually do that when I run as an entire chassis operation. I thought someone might catch me on that, having the loose load next to the locomotive, but at the slower speeds, it's okay. So now we're back to the Ojai Railroad back across Grassy Fork. And we've got another Norfolk Southern train coming. Sometimes it can get really busy here in Georgetown. I hear him blowing south of town. You should be picking up the diesels here pretty soon. If you can hear it above the clatter of the alcove. So they're starting up and they're heading northbound. So they're still south of town. So all we have to do now is we're going to pull the train in on the passing siding and shut it down. So since it's Monday afternoon, they don't put the locomotive and caboose away through the week. That's only on the weekend. So after they get the engine shut down, that'll be the end of the video. So it may happen before you get to hear the the train get close enough. I don't know. The only way they would disconnect the locomotive from something is if they had to split the train because of the don't want to block the grade crossings. But we should fit comfortably in this time. Yep, I don't think you're going to get to hear that northbound Norfolk Southern train blowing anymore. I hear him coming, but I don't think you can. Everybody stay safe.